big, nice environment just to see the fans kind of like just like hovering over you, and just like the whole matchup behind it. I think that brings like the energy out of it. Playing at Cameron last year with fans was probably my favorite game, just because of the whole Coach K's last game and just the anticipation around it, the built-up energy. It's only something that you go dream of, and I was just super proud of and happy to be a part of that with my teammates.
What's the toughest thing about playing in that environment when it's really intense and loud?
Just keeping your composure and not letting the game get out of hand, and not try to get too caught up with if they make a run and whatnot, because they have a good fan base that gets a little loud and you can't really hear anything. And I think that was the problem last year. I think like Coach Davis had called a call and I didn't hear him at all. And Mondo had like run all the way to half court and tell me what the call was. So it definitely gets loud in there, but I'm super excited to play it.
Did the tape on your finger hurt your shooting against Pitt?
Yeah, but I'm also coming back. I re-dislocated it in the Hughes game, so it's kind of a little bit sore, but I'm working through it. It kind of like the tape didn't really bother me to the point. Also just coming off of protocols and getting back into playing. So
which finger? What was the injury?
My shooting finger, right index. Dislocations.
Do you think you'll have tape on it tomorrow?
No, I'm not going to play with tape on tomorrow.
Okay.
Because early in the season, when you had that, you really struggled with your shooting, and then when you recover from that, your percentages went way up. Could you sense some of that early season struggle in the last game?
It was definitely a hassle just dealing with it. It's an injury on my shooting finger, kind of get a feel for the ball. So I kind of, played to me struggling a little bit. It got better, and then re-injured it a little bit. But I'm just working through it, seeing how I feel without the tape, with the tape, and just progress from there.
What's the advantage of playing there a couple times and kind of knowing what to expect?
We're a veteran group. Just being there, playing with fans and without fans, just knowing what to expect. I feel like last year was definitely, a preview of like what to expect. Even though last year was crazier and the whole build-up of the last game for Coach K. But going into their Saturday, I'm pretty sure I'm going to expect some loudness and crowded from even just walking into the arena. So we're prepared. We just got to get mentally ready for it and dialed in.
You think the fact that y'all are veteran-laden seniors, juniors versus 4 starting freshmen over there, like you all a little bit of an edge, even though they're playing their home court?
We know they're a good team. They're a young group of guys, but they do fight, and that's one thing they hang their hats on. They're a good team. But at the same time, we have some veteran players on this team. We have players that played in Cameron last year and previous year. So I think just knowing that going into the game and just not get too much caught up in just like playing together, I think that's what will lead us to victory.
How are you feeling overall? It's almost like you came out of a prize fight after the previous game. How are the overall issues, and are you still? Does some of it still linger?
Nah, I'm pretty good overall. It was like you said, like a little prize fight last game, and just kind of get that. We knew what type of game it was going to be. It was going to be a dog fight, from start to finish, and I'm doing well. Mentally and physically, in a better spot now. So yeah.
So you'd have played if you had a game last Saturday, you wouldn't have played.
Last Saturday, no, I wouldn't have played.
What was the head? Was it just a hit to the eye? What was the injury there?
So I got hit to the eye, and I kind of went through some protocols just to make sure I'm good. I sat out just to get back to recovery wise and make sure I feel good leading up to the next week. I went through the protocols, passed the testing, and did some individual workouts just to get my legs going again and just get a feel for energy-wise and not make sure I'm too fatigued.
How are you mentally preparing for Saturday's game?
Just taking it all in, realizing that I'm just gonna embrace this moment. I know the type of game it's gonna be. I know it's Duke versus North Carolina, so I'm mentally there already. But just going there with the mindset of just doing whatever it takes to win.
Well, last year there were stretches where you took over the game, driving and dishing and scoring, and in an environment like that at Cameron, what goes through your head in that sort of game?
For me, I love these type of games. I love the big moments, and I just just get a feel for the game. I don't really try to force anything. Just let the game come to me, and I think that's what I do best. And I know, tomorrow's game is going to be, a fight from start to finish. So I know for me, I got to be ready to help us win.
Do you hear the students talking during the game?
I usually tune them out. I don't really listen to them at all. I just focus on the game. So
Sort of on that, I asked Armando who's going to be the bigger target tomorrow night here, or Caleb. And I'll tell you who he said in a second. I'm curious who you think will be the bigger target.
he said him and Caleb.
Between the two of them, I asked him. I'll tell you who he said in a second. I want to hear what you say first.
That's hard. I'm gonna go with C. I think Caleb about it.
Yeah, that's what he said.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah, because the shot and
Yeah.
then the iconic
sure.
photo of the dunk and his tongue out.
Yeah. So
But he said he wants to get the brunt of it, though.
I'm pretty sure he does. That's what Mondo Higgs had on. So.
Caleb has thrived on the road before when he's getting a lot of abuse from the fans. Do you think that tomorrow night will be good for him because he's going to get that and he kind of feeds off of it pretty well?
Yeah, I mean, he kind of feeds into that, like you said, and just plays his game. It kind of just gets his motor going. So yeah.
RJ, you were saying you were already mentally there.
Yeah.
Like when your mind goes back to those two games, the game at Duke and the game in New Orleans, like what do you remember from those? Like what is the first thing that pops up for you when you think about it?
Just the whole moment, embracing it, just not just from playing, just to be part of history. Like we were the first two teams to play in the Final Four, and then just to look around and just seize that moment and embrace it. And to also get a win, especially those last two games, because that was very special to us. And then at the same time, we had a lot of doubts around that time. So just to prove them wrong, felt really good.
So you remember looking around, like in the Superdome or
Yeah,
at Duke?
Superdome, looking around the Superdome, just looking around in camera and just seeing the faces, just how packed it was. It was standing room only. So just kind of those type of moments. It's the little things that matter.
What's been the challenge of moving past that, emotionally speaking?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I think, we've, last year is last year. We have a whole different team. They have a whole different team. So, we're eager to win, so they are. So, and so is they. So, at the same time, we kind of just got to move past that. We can't really dwell on it and just move forward and focus on what we did this year, this past couple of days of practice, preparing. So.
Did Coach Davis articulate that to you all? Because I know in the preseason, throughout half the season, I guess the hype video showed those two games, a couple moments. They're not in there anymore.
Yeah.
It's maybe kind of a message of not looking back. So I'm wondering if you directly articulated that sentiment to you guys.
Yeah, HD does a great job of just focusing on the present and living in the moment, and not trying to look too far ahead or backwards. Just enjoy this because you can't get this back, and that's what he always says to us.
You guys watched those videos, the video before the starting lineup introduction. When did you notice that they took out the Coach K takes a big L or whatever, that part?
They took that out?
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
You didn't
that.
realize
Nah.
it? Yeah, they took it out. I guess probably about a
It
month
depends
ago.
on my mood if I'm paying attention or
So
not.
that's what Andrew was saying. That's kind of what I thought. That was sort of the cutting of the cord. To
Yeah, I
what
didn't
happened
realize
last
that.
year.
Depends on my mood if I'm paying attention to the Jumbotron.
What are you thinking about when that's going on? 'Cause some of the guys are looking up there.
Sometimes
enjoying
I
it.
look up. Sometimes I have my head down. That's how I know I'm just locked in.
When you go back to the emotions from last year, both those wins were emotional. And after the one in New Orleans, there's so many amazing images of you guys expressing emotion. Could you ever have imagined having that kind of emotional level for a sporting event, for winning a game?
I mean, now you could, you kind of see just on TV, just as a kid growing up, and then just to actually feel that moment, feel that type of feeling. It's a great emotion. It just shows how much of a competitor, I am, and the rest of my teammates are, and just to, come out with the win, just brought smiles across our face. We were super excited, and that's something that we want to feel again.
Archie, it seems like there hadn't been many games where you, Caleb, and Armando have all shot well at the same time. What is it going to take to kind of unlock that?
I think it's just gonna, just gonna have to dial in and, play. I don't think we, as a group, we all have played a together game in terms of, just being disciplined, not just offensively but defensively. So I feel like we really keyed on that, and I think the best is soon to come.
Coach Davis said last year before the game at Cameron that he showed you guys that Showtime Lakers documentary and was trying to get you to fight and all those sorts of things. Have you pulled out any tricks like that so far this week?
Not yet. I don't think there's going to be no tricks needed just because we know he's there and we're there too. So there's no tricks needed for this one.
Did you feel like that week was he on a different level even last year?
100%. Like, you know, he said, you know, it's national TV. I mean, what more can you want? And he said, you know, these are the matchups, and we're gonna guard, and we're gonna guard, and we're gonna go down there and, you know, play Carolina basketball. And that was the main message. And you know, that whole week leading up, like, we all had a feeling like, you know, we could really do this, despite what everybody else is saying.
Armando was saying he has a print of the pull-up dunk at Duke where Caleb's got his tongue out, you know what I'm talking about, to finish it off. Did you save anything from, I mean, I don't know, the Caleb shot over Mark Williams? I mean, do you have a photo?
From either the Final Four or
yeah, do you have like a memento or like a keepsake?
I have a pitch, like pictures of me. I think it was like at Duke. It's a picture of me like jumping in the air.
Right. At the
like,
buzzer?
Yeah, at the buzzer.
Yeah.
So
Like skipping, right?
Yeah. I was like just super excited and how well I played and, you know, how well we played collectively. So.
Just in your apartment?
Nah, it's actually my phone. I haven't printed it out yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you guys need to do offensively to keep opponents from sagging on Armando as much as they did in the last game?
You know, just be a threat. You know, we all know our capabilities and potential as individual players, and that's, you know, getting the ball inside Armando, or, you know, we could also penetrate and get the ball to the basket. You know, we're all talented downhill type of players where we could either create for ourselves or create for others. So I think that's what, you know, we're gonna have to do. You know, live in the paint.
Thanks, RJ. Appreciate it.
My finger's good. It's better. You know, kind of just